If by some chance, some stroke of luck, or some act of God, you have stumbled upon this broadcast, you are listening to The Chivalry Chronicles with your host, Dr. DLH.
I'm a damn doctor.
David.
We're going to bring the tea.
refuse
To not drink during the podcast.
Yeah.
And me, Jaime.
They need to make podcast equipment a lot more expensive to get some of these clowns off the air.
Gather around as we discuss a modern, manly approach to chivalry. So I hope you're ready, because I know we are. So let's get into it.
Oh, yes. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.
That is not cowbell. That is whiskey.
More cowbell. So we're back here at the Chivalry Studios, a.k.a. my office upstairs. Once again, if you didn't know, every other Tuesday, we put out a podcast. So wherever you get your podcast, right? If you go to Apple, we're there. If you go to YouTube, we're there. Spotify. There's a bunch of other ones that I've never heard of, but they exist.
We're there too.
Yeah, we're there too. I mean, I don't know where you listen to yours. I saw on the link that it said web browser, which I don't know what that is, but it shows up on, when you look up the statistics and all that. It's kind of funny. But anyway, we thank you for stopping by. We thank you for listening to us. It's been a hell of a ride for us. And we're going to continue doing it, right? As long as it's fun. Prime Music, we're on that too, just so you know. What was the other one? Overcast. I'd never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
I downloaded the app. I was like, I'm going to check it out. I only listened to ours, so I don't know what that's like. But as David is making his way in because he's late,
As usual.
as usual,
Here to save the podcast, as usual. That's correct, folks.
he had to go take a potty break.
You got my red M&Ms?
Yeah. He
Red
finally.
M&Ms sound good right now.
I know, because, oh my God, yeah. So DLH just came back after his, contract, negotiations. He became a doctor.
Did I negotiate a good contract?
We said nay.
And he still showed up for work.
Yeah.
You drive a hard bargain, but all right.
So we were sitting here wondering what to talk about. And then we started talking about cigars. And I was like, you know what, man? Let's talk about cigars. David.
I had a question, but don't ask me what that question was, because...
No, so we were talking about, I know brothers that smoke every day. Like every day. Like they get up.
Fraternity brothers.
And they have a cigar with their coffee. And I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. Like I love coffee in the morning, but man, that's a lot. Like I was telling DLH, like the most I've ever smoked is probably 2 days in a row. And even that was a bit much. And DLH, you were saying that it depends on the, kind of what that cigar is. Is it medium? Is it like,
Yeah.
Well, he also said the occasions.
The occasions matter for me, but also I think the more that you learn about cigars too, you can start being a little more selective, right? Like when we get into holidays, and I know that I'm going to meet with some family one day, some friends another day, some fraternity brothers another day, and all of them are somewhat in the cigar culture.
You got to keep up with the Joneses.
Then there's a likelihood that we're going to smoke a cigar in those 3 consecutive days. So I have to be mindful of the cigar that I choose, so that going into day 2, I'm not in a cigar smoke bubble.
And I think that's a great way to explain it. It's a bubble that it just sticks with you.
It just stays with you overnight. You smell it in the morning, like you just get, and there's some cigars that will give you that.
Yeah.
And I think that that's fine if you know that you're going to have that one cigar that day and I have no idea when I'm going to smoke my next one, then that's fine. But if there's a high possibility that you're going to smoke the next day, I would not choose one that is going to have that effect on you.
Yeah. So there's a guy that I follow on YouTube. I'll put his whatever link, but he has a notebook that he fills out every time he smokes a new cigar, and then he'll add, what kind of flavor is this, or what kind of notes? Is it natural notes?
Yeah.
Is it sweet notes? Is it nutty? Is it? And he as he's smoking it, he say, oh, this is. It's a little bit of chestnut, and I'm like, man, I don't know all that shit. I was like,
But you know what? It's eye opening if you do it.
But my thing is like I smoke cigars. Been smoking cigars probably Joaquin's 19, right around when Joaquin was born is when I started. Man, I've never really gotten that deep into it to where I'm filling out, like a little checklist.
Yeah, you're not here to do work. You're here to enjoy it.
I'm here to just enjoy it. But I know what I like and I know what I don't like.
Well, this is where I'm going to say now, do you, right? And before you answer that, let me tell you this.
Do you what?
Do you know what you actually like and what you don't? Because you know your habits, you know what you do smoke. But what I'll tell you this, my journey on this sort of thing began too because my wife got me a whiskey journal.
Okay.
Very similar situation, right? But every time you drink a whiskey, there are these pre-formatted pages where you talk about the flavor profile, the strength, like all the things you liked and didn't like, the notes that you pick up. And then you're forced to give it a grade. You grade the whiskey. And as I got all the whiskeys one at a time down the line, the things that I normally
does it tell
would
you?
get,
But does it tell you the whiskey that you're like? So
you write it down.
Okay, so it's just a
blank sheet with
a blank sheet.
formatted.
Yeah.
It's a blank formatted. It's formatted, but you put in the name of everything and you start to
That's
do
too much
everything.
work, dog.
Okay,
That's
here's what happened though. I started to do that, and because I'm constantly drinking whiskey, right? Yeah. I would rate the whiskey, and then there were some of the whiskeys that I found out that were in my regular rotation that it turns out that based on how I would grade it, I didn't like them. I just didn't like it. I would just drink it out of habit. It was something I would do.
But why would you do that if you didn't like it?
Because it was just something I did. It was just something that was like, okay, I will occasionally have this, or somebody would get it for me.
Now, I'm going to have to push back a little because if I'm drinking something, like you drink it, you're like, okay, and then you kind of drink it and you're like, after a while, you're like, no, I don't like that. And then you move on. You go to the next one. Like, I'm not going to keep drinking it because I'm going to, guess I'm like.
Well, beer is beer.
Beer is beer.
No, it's not.
But you will keep drinking the beer that you like, even that.
Yeah.
I mean.
But some of the times when you drink the whiskey, right? Let me just choose one. Let's say Bullet.
Okay.
Bullet whiskey is one of the ones that I would.
So just to remind you, we're talking about cigars, but go ahead with your whiskey.
I'm going to give you just this example for Bullet, and then how it goes to, because cigars are so much bigger than this. But when you go to a whiskey that's something like Bullet, because you heard from somebody that it's good, you take that on because somebody tells you that it's good, and then you start to drink it, and even if you're not. And if you're not
placebo,
if you're not particularly fond of it in the moment, it's more like, okay, I just haven't reached a palate where it's as good as the person who told me that it should be, right? And then you start to test other whiskeys, and then you start to recognize the differences between them.
Right.
What are they supposed to taste like? What flavor profiles do I actually like?
Right.
And when it comes down to it, it's not like any of the whiskeys I was drinking were bad. There were just some that I don't prefer. Right. And I was like, oh, well, then let me just take those out of rotation and then not mess with that. And it reduced the amount of whiskeys that I would then focus on as like my go-to.
Right.
And now within that, I have different ones that's in a smaller range, right, that I normally go to based on how I want to drink it and when.
Right.
Cigars are a little bit the same way, but it's much more vast, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, no, because shit. Like you can walk into a freaking cigar place like right on the street, and it's the whole room is nothing but cigars in there.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, what do I pick?
But now, do you like Connecticut? Do you like Maduro? Do you like Sumatra? Do you like, what's the gauge that you like? What's the cut that you like?
Yes.
Do you like a hole punch, a guillotine, a V cut?
I'm not that particular about the gauge, but I don't want a smaller cigar. Like I want to smoke for 40 minutes, like I don't want to, I need a good size cigar.
So not a Churchill, because a
Right.
Churchill's going to take you like an hour,
Yeah.
hour and a half.
But I have smoked those.
Yes, but you got to smoke them to know.
Yeah. No. And with cigars like that, it's especially so I have a friend that kind of gets me pretty nice cigars. You don't want to stop smoking. you feel like you wasted it if you light it and you don't have the time to smoke it. So you got to make sure
you got to make sure you have the time.
And I have smoked Churchills, and they're great, but you gotta block out some
You
time.
got to block out time.
Now, torpedoes and those are just cool, but I mean, if you didn't give me one, I'd be like, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big ass gauges. Sometimes it's like, shit. Do I even have a cutter that big? It's like,
Well, but even if you do, which one is the best cutter for it? Do you just use a hole punch? Do you use a guillotine, or do you use a V cut?
see, I've used a V cut more recently because the lighter that I had a V cut, and I was like, I'm gonna try it. But
it changes the flavor.
it
You would
changes
agree.
a little bit, but I'm not as in tune with it to where I can tell you, oh yeah, we're 2 degrees over, and it's a V cut. Like I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like
That sounds like real exhausting.
But you have
it is.
okay. But you have had an experience. I'm assuming.
Like, are you gonna smoke or not? Yeah. Or are you just gonna keep writing shit down?
because you've smoked enough. Where
for
I would
19
say,
years.
and have you had an experience where you smoke a cigar and the first third will say the flavor of that burn is different than when you reach the middle
Yes.
of that cigar?
Yes.
Then you get the real flavor of it, right?
Right.
And so that though also gets altered when you have simply a hole punch because of the way that the smoke gets drawn through.
Correct.
Versus a V cut versus a
Yeah.
guillotine, right? And like my father-in-law, for instance, when he prefers a guillotine cutter, and he cuts almost the entire back end of the cigar off. And I'm like, that's too much, right? That's too much because what it
You're
actually
giving them Churchills.
no, but what it actually does is it dilutes the flavor of the tobacco, the taste that you're supposed to get. So you get a lot more smoke and a lot less flavor when you do that.
Yeah, there's a little cap at the end that's what you're supposed to cut.
Right. So if you and then V cut, the way that the smoke draws through and the way that you light it, it will change the flavor of the cigar. Now, all these that's minutia. These are subtleties, right? If you're not
Right.
in tune with the subtleties, you're not going to notice. It won't really matter much.
And I would venture to say 90% of the smokers don't give a shit about that.
They don't.
They don't.
Yeah, because I would think.
I don't. Honestly,
Well,
I don't.
I would think if you just lay out some cigars, right, and you the tester knows which is which. One is a $30 cigar or whatever. I think you could feed some BS on a bullshit cigar, and some are going to be like, "Oh, damn, this is really good."
Yeah, and I don't
This is
think
great.
you need it. You don't. You certainly do
and they
not
may even
need a
choose. They may
$30
choose
cigar.
that $2. They may pick that $2 cigar
No.
over the $30 cigar.
I would hope not.
You would hope not.
I would hope
but
not.
I bet people would fall in that category. I think the same thing with some drinks and so forth.
Yeah,
if
I
it's,
mean,
if
I've
it's
had-
got like a reputation, that's in your head. That
Like
that
beer is
placebo
beer?
effect. Yeah,
Like
it's the
beer.
placebo effect.
No,
Well,
but I think anybody who smokes
this is
enough
expensive.
cigars.
This is $30. Oh,
No, you
wow, that's
can't.
great.
You can't taste a $30 cigar, but you can taste a $3 cigar.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No,
You-
but I
you'll
don't
know.
I don't
A
know a $30 cigar. I think you can.
I don't know. I don't know that you
They're-
can.
So I've had pretty cheap cigars, right? Because I think I've told this story before. When I got a cigar from my coworker, a friend of mine, we were at his baby shower. Joaquin was probably like 6 months, and I say, I gotta go, bro. Like it's getting late. This kid's got to go to bed. He's like, hey man, we're gonna have smoke cigars. I'd never really smoked cigars then. You smoke those crap, right? Like people
Social
weddings
sweets.
and shit and all that other crap. But he's like, man, this is a really good one. He goes, you got to smoke it tonight though, unless you have a humidor. And I didn't have a humidor. He's like, you got to smoke it tonight. He goes, pair it with something, like a whiskey or something. If you have whiskey, pair it with that because you can't. It loses flavor if you do it with a beer. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the same. So he's like, if you have whiskey, pair it with a whiskey. And I was like, cool. So I come home and I try it, and not knowing anything about cigars, I was like, okay, cool. you kind of was like, that's cool. And then, so I go to the cigar place it was called before. It was, I forgot, but it's right down the street. And I'm looking for that cigar, and there's nothing there. So I talked to the guys, hey, I'm kind of looking for this type. And he's like, oh, we'll try these. And I tried them. Nothing. I didn't like them, right? I was like, this is crap. Like, I don't get that flavor, right? Or the way that smoked, it smoked really well. Like, it was like, it burned really evenly. It's just a bunch of stuff about it that I was like, man. And so I bought other ones. You know, when you smoke something and it's not packed well?
Yeah.
Like the air just kind of just flows through. Like, what the fuck? So then, a couple of months later, I go back to my coworker. I was like, well, all right. What cigar was that? Because I can't find anything close to that. He goes, yeah, those are pretty, I can only get them through certain sources. I was like, all right, I'm down. Give me some. So then he started getting me those cigars, right? And there is a difference. Like,
I was just telling you that. He was like, pull those $3. For those $3, and I'm going to sell it to the fool for $30 each.
No, they were good. They were good because I tried so many. Now, when I go to this place right here, I forgot what it's called because they closed down, which it sucked. Now I'm kind of in the, like, tatuaje. Have you tried tatuaje? It's like Rocky Patel's really good. Like, those are kind of,
Yeah, Rocky Patel is reliable.
Yeah, Rocky Patel. But tatuaje, Rocky Patel, and then there was another one I forgot because I used to go in there and just buy those 2 or 3. But when I listen to people talk about cigars, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm not that
deep into it.
Yeah, I'm not sitting here going, yeah, man, you can't do that, or hey, why are you using a lighter? You're only supposed to use matches, or just like all that crazy stuff. Like, look, man, if you love that cigar, smoke that cigar.
Smoke them if you got them.
Do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't let, like, I'm not here to tell you that cigar is crap.
No,
I'm going to tell you.
But there is a way to light it so that you get the actual flavor.
No, I mean, that's just saying, yeah, you don't drive with your feet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways to do it.
But you do drive with your feet.
You don't move the steering with your foot. Like, this is like, you don't do that. But yeah, there's certain protocol. But if you, like, so when my friends came over and we're smoking and I give him a cigar and he like licks the whole
licks it lengthwise? Yeah, no.
like all the way around, and I'm like,
why?
What is going on here? I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't bother to ask. I felt that was a little too much intimacy going on with him in the cigar.
Slow the burn.
Yeah, I was like,
were you over there biting your lip while he was doing it?
I was like, like in Pulp Fiction, he said.
Hey, okay. What if you Google it real quick? Why would you lick a cigar? We should.
I think what he was
get some
doing.
inappropriate results.
Yeah,
what did you think cigar? I don't know how inappropriate that would be.
I would assume he's, I don't know, trying to get it moist.
Maybe for just slow the burn down.
Yeah.
But why?
I don't know, dog.
Give it some humidity.
I didn't. Yeah. But, that's the other thing.
The humidifier gives it humidity.
No. But do you have, like, are you a super Nazi about...
I'm not a Nazi in any form.
Are you a super Nazi about my cigars have to be at 65?
No. Oh, when they're stored, yes, they do. They have to be between 68 and 70 degrees.
You Nazi.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
that's not me. That's the culture.
That's the cigar.
That's the best temperature
correct
for them
like
to
mine's
remain in.
Mine is like at 70, like, because I buy the little packs. I think Bravo or Bravado or whatever this called, the little packs.
Yes.
They come
We
in
should know that.
60 it come in 62, 65, 70. They come in different humidity, like the degrees.
The level, yep.
And I buy mine high just because whatever.
Which
When
one
a
are you buying
rainforest.
it?
I think it's 70 or 72 something, but my humidor is like at 70 all the time.
Yeah.
Cuban cigars is supposed to be at 65 strictly. So if you have Cuban cigars you get it up to 70, you're supposed to take it out and kind of leave it and let it. I don't do none of that shit. I go to my humidor, take it out, cut it, smoke, done. Like, there's a lot of people out there that really are way too involved.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I would suspect that it's making a story. Now you created some lore about oh, you got to keep it like this or keep it like that. I think some things are practical, but I think in other sense, a lot of stuff.
Well,
regardless of cigars or whatever.
Yeah, no, but if
it's got a story, it's more compelling.
No, I guess I agree. But what I think I'm hoping DLH will kind of go into a little bit further is there are things that you need to do. I had this kid over one time, right? It was like one of Liana's little boyfriends or whatever. He was over here at the house. What?
It's just the way you said it.
No, he was over here at the house, and he knew that I smoked cigars, and he's like, hey, I've never smoked a cigar. Do you want, And I was like, sure. I mean, we could go smoke a cigar. No big deal. And so I didn't think, which it's my bad, right? I didn't think to tell him, you're supposed to do this. This is how you cut it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think to like walk him through because one, he didn't ask. He didn't say, hey, I don't know how to cut it. How do I cut it? Which is something that probably some people won't say, but I didn't tell him anything.
Well, he wanted to seem competent.
Which it was my bad, right? So he cuts it, right? But then he flips it and lights the end that he cut.
Oh, shit.
Right? And I was like, wait. I was like, well, hold on. What are you doing? I was like, I'm lighting. I was like, no.
Toasting.
I was like, hold on. I was like, let's put the lighter down. I was like, you cut this end, you light the other end. I didn't think I had to explain that. But it threw me for a loop, dog. I was like,
I'd have thrown him out of the house.
Well, no, he's just trying to relate to him.
yeah. And I was like, okay. He said, no. He was like, oh shit. He goes, and I was like, damn, my bad. Like I should have. Like you also don't want to treat people like idiots either, dog. Like,
but could you imagine the pressure? Like you're trying to get in good with your
just sent that damn kid on his way. Get the fuck out
and
of
he's
here.
like, well, and then she tells him, well, I know he likes cigars. Okay, well, let me get in on that. And you don't know a damn thing that's happening.
But I don't. Well, and they're kids, right? He's like probably like 24-ish. Ask questions, man. Like,
yeah, but he doesn't want to seem incompetent. I think that's a very specific scenario.
No, I know, but to me, it's like there are certain ways that you have to. I mean, what I've read, what I was told, what I've looked up is like you cut basically the width of a dime on the back of the cigar. It's a cap back there. There's an actual cap that they when they roll it, the width of a dime. That's what
I
read.
cut smaller,
and you can, but if you go more than that, then you start not. So it can unravel if you cut more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can unravel.
Yeah.
So but when you cut smaller, you also get a more strength and flavor.
Right. And that's why the punch is, you can do certain things after that.
Yeah. You're going a little larger than a punch.
Right.
Essentially.
So I think if you want to go through that, that would be good because, I didn't know people don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if you're asking to smoke a cigar, I assume you have a...
Saw it on TV at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but there's a lot of
and we talked about it. What did you say? Your
I don't know
brother...
if I would call it etiquette, but
there is etiquette.
There is a lot of etiquette.
I know, but didn't you say your brother is a little too into it? Like
not my nephew.
Yeah.
My nephew who has all the things. He has
the little pig.
There's a 3-prong. I don't even know what to call it. It's like something that you can hold in your like three fingers, right? And it has three very thin
flowers,
three very thin wire prongs that you put into the front of the cigar, and you move it around in order to loosen the tobacco. Which I don't know.
Is that necessary?
Aerator.
Does it have? There's two questions here. Does it have purpose? Yes, it has a specific purpose.
What if it's a really good cigar?
Is it necessary?
Is it needed?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No. If you know that you have a cigar that's going to come from someplace that is often inconsistent in how it's packed, then sure.
Yeah.
Use it.
That makes sense.
But if you have to stop because the inconsistency of a pack is like the front 2/3 of a cigar is fine, but the last third is too compact.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense to let your cigar burn out in order to loosen the tobacco, because then there's etiquette in how you deal with the burnt tobacco, right?
And Yeah.
Because if you light, let me tell anybody who's willing to try any of this stuff, if you don't light the cigar correctly from the beginning and you overburn, right, the tobacco at the beginning, you taste a lot of that bitterness in it.
Yeah.
So if you don't light it right and you're like, no, the cigar's too bitter, it's possible that you just didn't light it correctly.
Didn't
You're
light it,
tasting
or it's a bad cigar.
right. Or you're tasting the bitterness of the burn. Or you're smoking a $3 cigar.
Yeah. Or you lit up the end that you just cut.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, even if you lit
And I'm not going to
end,
say any names because I don't want to shame that kid, but
even if
but I
you
was
lit
taken
the
aback.
wrong end, essentially what you're just doing is that you have a much larger hole that the smoke is coming through, so you're going to get less flavor, more smoke.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay,
not necessarily wrong, but you're not going to get the flavor that's meant to be gotten.
So how much or how much do you smoke of the cigar? Like, do you smoke it down to the freaking roach
nub?
clip type?
No,
or,
I
like,
do not.
So tell me where you stop smoking.
You have to. This is such an inexact science.
It is,
Because
but it's
you have
important.
to gauge it. You have to gauge it based on your feel, right? Because a cigar in general, depending on the cigar, all the things matter.
Yeah.
But when you're smoking a cigar and you get down to the final third, you have to decide when the appropriate time is to stop. Because if you don't stop and you smoke it down to a little, call it a roach clip, right?
Yeah.
A little nub, you're going to taste nothing but bitterness. And
Right.
the bitterness is the lingering flavor that's going to
That
be left
sticks.
in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Although some cigars, I know there's been some that I've smoked that as you get down almost to that nub, it's like tastes phenomenal.
maybe if you like the end of that cigar.
Yeah,
but if you're somebody who doesn't like the char, the bitterness, the intensified flavor or heat that you're going
Yeah,
to
the
get
heat
from it,
the heat is usually
it's pretty intense when you
Yeah.
get near the end, right? And so if you don't know that, if you consider the cigar in thirds, as soon as you reach the final third, you have to immediately start thinking about, when am I just going to let this burn out?
Well, and the other thing is, it gets really hot.
It gets hot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of how I gauge. Well, if the flavor's not there that I'm looking for,
Now,
Yeah.
but the heat is usually where I stop. But there's been times where it's like, man, this is really hot, but
Now
Tastes great.
I would tell you this: if you get a cigar that has a single band on it,
Yes.
just one band, that's normally, if you get really close to that,
That's
abandon
about it.
the cigar.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
You're
the
done.
band is
Right. And if you take the bands off, that's fine, but just know kind of
Correct.
where it was, so that you know when to stop.
Yeah.
If it has multiple bands on it because it's doing it for decor or whatever, you can take the
Especial.
front ones off.
Yeah.
You can take the front ones off, and the one that's closest to where you're smoking from is the one that you want to use as your gauge.
You know what I really find a nuisance is when they put a cap, like a band at the bottom. Like, don't do that shit. Take that shit up
Like the lighting end?
at the
Yeah,
end. Like,
yeah.
I hate that shit because you're sitting there fucking around with that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
especially
what are
if
you
it's
talking
like
about?
ribbon
Huh?
or cedar.
what are you talking about?
so
Oh, they put that little humidity thing.
no.
no.
It's a little
or the
band.
little cedar.
It's a cigar, but you know the band that's always on a cigar. But sometimes at the very the lit end where you light it, they'll put a band of something there, ribbon,
Yeah.
cedar, something.
Yeah, but that cedar's to keep the moisture.
Most of the time
It
it's
is,
for that. But it just
Take that
adds
shit
another
out.
thing that you have to remove
Oh.
in order to get it.
Because the
crap.
I don't know that I've ever seen it with like a ribbon, but I've
Yeah.
seen it with like
Yeah.
a wrap of cedar.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you keep your ring, like the little bands of the cigars you've smoked?
I did in the beginning. Whenever I would smoke a cigar, if I smoked it and if it was something that was kind of like, I don't really know if I liked it or not, then
Yeah.
no, I didn't really bother. But if I smoked a cigar and I was like, wow, I am really impressed
Yes.
by this thing, I would keep it, because then I knew
Which one it was?
which one it was and what my gauge is
Yeah.
for what a good cigar is.
So you have all
Correct.
the little Swisher Sweet
And
little
then
bands.
definitely not.
Yeah, I kept for
Cherry
the
flavor.
longest the Oil de Monterrey. It's like the little band.
Yeah.
Because up to that point, which was like a couple years into it. Oh shit! Party time, baby! It's time to smoke.
What did y'all say?
What was that?
Y'all said something. Y'all said something that SIRI kicked in.
Whatever.
I swear it. You saw it. You saw my phone light up.
Nah, bro.
That's all you.
We're gonna get.
Why is that in your ringtone? No.
Don't play. We can't record this thing.
Yeah, you can.
So I kept
not
it
a lot
because for like the first couple of years, that was what I felt was the best cigar I'd ever smoked. And I kept one of, because I'd bought probably like 8. There's 2 other friends of mine that we kind of split a box. And so what sucks is like one of us is going to get the 9th cigar, right? Because there's 25.
Is it like getting the butt of the bread?
No. Is you get an extra cigar.
You get the extra. Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah, and so it's never a. I'll take the. I'll go ahead and I volunteer tribute to get that. Yeah. It's always like he just flips a coin or whatever.
Yeah.
So I kept one of those cigars forever, like, and then it wasn't until like a couple of years ago that I was out. Like I didn't have any more cigars. I was like, fuck, I was gonna save this for like,
Rainy
quote
day.
unquote. But I'm like, today, it's raining today, baby. So now I'm like, I used to keep one cigar that I thought were really good. But, now I just smoke them all. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't have enough time anymore.
And you should. They're like, cigars are so diverse at this point that, like honestly, for my general practice, right? Let's say outside of the scenario where I know that I'm going to smoke because of company or whatever, I don't smoke very often on my own, but throughout, let's say, I don't smoke every day. So like,
I do on my own all the time, dog.
well, I smoke on my own, yes, but for me, like it's not going to be like every day of the week, right? Most of the time I go through my work week, and when I hit anything that to me feels like an accomplishment, maybe I did something work-wise where I finished it or I got over a certain hump.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of shit, right? And then I reach that. And that afternoon is where I'm going to go sit in my favorite spot to go and smoke. And I'm going to put, get me some whiskey, and I'm going to choose a specific cigar, something that I know is going to pair well with that whiskey and that I'm going to enjoy. And then I'll go outside. But there are other times that if I know that there's a high likelihood that I'm going to smoke, right? Even if I'm going to have whiskey, but I don't know, either in an adventurous mood or it doesn't matter specifically what I smoke, then I'll do a sort of a cigar roulette, if you will. I have a bunch of different types of cigars, so I will just kind of put my hand in the humidor,
carousel.
in the humidor, the carousel, sure. And then I take out whatever amount, like either for me, if I'm just smoking for myself, whatever cigar comes out, and then I'll smoke that. And then I'll take note of what I'm smoking.
Yeah.
If I know that I'm going to be in other company or whatever, then I'll take out, like today, right? Like I brought some cigars here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stick my hand in there. I'm going to pick out 3 cigars, and whatever comes up, that's what we got. Right?
Yeah.
And then you learn from that. You just smoke whatever, you take note of what you're smoking.
So are you guys dipping back into the same cigar? Or are you more consistently changing cigars? Because the variety's there, but you could always go with the same brand, same cigar. Like, are you going that route, or are you guys really randomly picking based on what you know of your base, your
You want to take
flavor
because I got
profile.
an answer, but you can.
Yeah. So when I was kind of looking for what I was looking for, right? When I tried a bunch of them, and then I kind of settled on these 3 different brands, and these 3 different, and they're usually Maduros, right? That's what I've kind of like, not that I won't try something else, but I stick to these 3. And then when I go buy them, I usually do Tatuaje or Rocky Patel, or there was another one and the guy there, I got a membership at one of these places, and they just
fancy.
It's $20.
You got that doctor money?
Yeah,
Doctor money.
Doctor money.
They keep a record of everything that you bought, and so you're just like, what did I get last time? And they're like, oh, you got these 3. I was like, cool, I'll just try those. That friend of mine that gets cigars,
But you're not trying those anymore if you're getting the same one.
huh?
You're not trying anymore.
No, because sometimes.
You're saying they branch off from that.
Yeah. So
okay, I got you.
he'll say, I know that the place that used to be here was it was the Humidor. It's called Club Humidor, the lady that owned it was like freaking badass. Like she was always smoking. Anytime it didn't matter when I walked in, she had a cigar. And of course, like any other place that you go, you walk in, they're like, hey, how can I help you? And all this and that. And then you just kind of tell them kind of what sometimes you're like, hey, I want to try a little bit different. This is what I've gotten before. And they're like, okay, cool. They're so good at their job. They're like, okay, try these.
Yep.
These are kind of the same flavor, the same realm, right? The same kind of, so try these. And then so I would. And then when I'd go back, they're like, what did you think? I was like, well, I didn't like that, or I did, or whatever. So I would do that sometimes. But it always takes someone that knows exactly what they're talking about. And when you meet those people, they're freaking, they save you a lot of money. One.
Yeah, they're incredibly useful. Yeah.
And so I sit there and talk to them and, kind of get as much information as possible. But with the friend of mine that just gets cigars, I don't have a choice. I just tell him I'm in, or he'll call me. Is that I'm going to go get some cigars? You want some? I'm like, I'm in. And then he gets me whatever. And not one time have I said this cigar is crap. They're all really good. So I just get, hey, here's what we got. Cool. We got Partagas, or we got, I think the ones that we got here recently, I had never gotten them before. It's a specific cigar. But anyway, I don't have I'm only going to get this. Mm-hmm. I usually talk to because they usually know what they're talking about. And so I just ask them, this is what I normally smoke. And then they'll give me something similar, or try this one. DLH?
Yeah. I think the easiest way to relate to it conceptually is like food, right? Like when you go someplace, and if you know that there's a specific way that you want to experience food, right? Like, I'm not feeling adventurous today. I want to get something that I know that I'm going to like, and it's going to be between these three foods that I normally go to. And we're at a place where I know they're good quality. You always know your home base, so you would get one of those three cigars. Mm-hmm. But there are some times when you're going out to a restaurant, and I don't know, whatever the atmosphere is, and maybe you feel a little adventurous, and let me try something different.
Yeah.
This is something that I've always been kind of curious about. Let me try that. And I think it's important to be open to that, because then you may try something that you wouldn't normally try, that you would be really surprised by. And then it expands your palate. It expands your options. Right. And then those are the things that you eventually equate into it, where it's like, all right, well, I'm feeling somewhat adventurous, but not completely. Then let me try something that I know is outside of my top three, but that is going to be something that is outside the box a little bit, but calculated.
Yeah.
Right. And then the times when you reach a point where you're like, you can throw whatever you want at me because that's the mood I'm in. I'm adventurous.
Yeah.
Then you try something completely different outside the box, something you've never tried before, or that's for you, maybe even the opposite of what you normally gravitate towards, just so you can experience that.
Yeah.
And I think that serves multiple purposes. You get to have a cigar that is way outside of your realm and know what that experience is. And it either like it kind of strengthens your base of what you like, but it also gives you a unique experience, and it can potentially expand the palate. And there's room for all of them. Then at that point it's like, okay, when do I normally feel this sort of adventurous? Is it around holidays? Is it when I'm with my fraternity brothers? Is it when, like whatever it is, and then you kind of know what's the greatest enjoyment you're going to get out of a certain type of cigar in a certain situation. Mm-hmm. And then you get to maximize that experience. So it's a great adventure. Either way.
So whenever you start smoking cigars, I mean, with me, it kind of just happened. I did kind of think it, like, we were talking about this. When you watch movies, right? I always think smoking is cool. Like, I just think it looks cool. Like,
well, that was purposely done back in the day.
Yes, and it worked.
Yeah.
Like with me, like when I saw my dad smoke, when I was a kid, I was like, that looks so cool. Like, because people that smoke, especially if you know how to smoke, like the way they light, the way they, like
making
people
the
smoke.
circles.
Yeah. Yeah, like they blow smoke through their nose. I mean, just a bunch of like cigarettes, right? My dad never smoked cigars and stuff like that. But anytime, like, say you're watching a movie, I know Arnold Schwarzenegger usually smokes a cigar in some of his movies. Like, that's what he does. Andy Garcia smokes cigars in his movies. Like, there's certain, and they look so cool. And they're always in a tux.
Hair slick.
They're
back.
always, hair slick back. They're smoking jackets.
Yeah.
Like, it just looks cool. So when I was a kid, like we read comic books, right? Wolverine was my favorite comic book character. Wolverine smokes cigars. Like, so to me, it's like, I know it's wrong, right?
And he smokes
question
down
then.
to the
Question then.
nub.
I didn't know that, but does Wolverine do a V cut with his blade? Or?
No. I guarantee.
Is he a hole punch? What is he do?
Wolverine is a guillotine cut, and he smokes it down to the nub.
Yeah, he does, and he chews on it. Have you seen people chew on cigars?
Yeah.
Which I never understood. Usually old guys.
Yes, but that's an oral fixation.
Yeah, but they chew on, and they're usually at HEB.
Yes, but because they're not lit. You can usually
No,
tell when somebody
yeah.
just has the oral fixation
they're-
because it doesn't need to be lit. They're just chewing on the end of the
That
cigar.
I never got. I never understood that, and you don't want to try it. It's nasty. Like, it's just.
Not a good habit to get into.
Yeah. The other thing that I thought was kind of funny is, like, back in old movies, like in the 60s and 70s, anytime there was a birth, people would give cigars. And so I've had those cigars, right?
Yeah, people still do that.
Yes.
Usually it's bubble gum. I think
No.
bubblegum.
Like,
bubble gum cigars.
yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
No, but if we're talking real cigars, and they normally have either a pink or a blue band around.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, I've got.
And I've had those cigars too. Like, I have gotten
They're
from,
usually
from
not.
friends.
They're
not
usually
great.
not.
Those are $30 cigars.
No,
they're
those
terrible.
are like the $3 cigars.
No, they cost a lot. Have you ever raised a kid?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, I have.
Now, were they
those are-
$30 worth, or they're a lot more?
No. Well, they're $3 cigars that somebody charged you more for. So they could put the band on it. So, PSA, buy your own damn cigars.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the color band that's on it. Pass them out at will.
Yeah. And I thought that was cool. One day I was, when you start kind of smoking cigars and your feed starts kind of giving you more cigar info. This happened to me probably like 15 years ago or whatever when I started smoking. I read it was just kind of a tidbit on JFK, right? John F. Kennedy. And he put an embargo on Cuban cigars. Right. And this was like 1962. But before he placed the embargo, he's like, I need
To load up.
about 1,200. And they got him 1,200 Upmans. Like, he stocked up. And I was like, great move, Mr. President. That is so badass. Like, give me 1,200 and put the shit in. Like,
Well, I've spoke to people. Well, this has been years ago. I would say probably 8+ years now. But they were telling me when they go to Cuba, they're bringing them. They'll bring like 100 cigars. But the key or the trick is you just need to ensure that you're telling them it's for personal.
Oh, yeah.
use. But
Absolutely.
you can. But there's a limit, and I think it's 100.
yeah.
So that's usually what they would do.
Well, I know one of our brothers was coming back with some cigars, and he didn't declare them or something, and they just tossed them in the trash can.
Dang.
It was bad, dog. I was like, damn. He goes, yeah. And I was
that
trying to bring
sucks.
back some
I
cigars.
know what that feels like, but whenever I went to Peru, and I
Yeah.
came back, I had those bottles, and I put 2 for some reason in my head, even though I know the rules.
Yeah.
The rules is you can't carry on liquor, right? I had it reversed, so there I stuck it in my carry-on, thinking this is the way to do it, and right at the gate, sorry, you got to take those out. Wrap them up, and then you can put them at the bottom of the plane. Like, that's cool. No, sir, sorry, we have to throw them away.
Too late.
And it was
Oh,
just,
my God.
and I was like, well, hopefully at least one of y'all take it, because just for it to be trashed is terrible. I just spent $60 on that. Come on.
Oh, man.
That was your bad.
Yeah,
It was
your bad.
all me. Yep.
So what the other thing they do is they'll take off the bands so they look like,
Yeah. Yeah, I know whenever I went to Jamaica and stuff, I had bought some Cubans, and That's what they told me. They're
Yeah.
just like take off the bands and then just tell them you got them here.
I think if anybody's going to get into cigars, there's a lot. There's a lot
It's too much.
of information to take in.
Don't worry about it.
I
one
yeah,
and-
actually, I think that's good advice in the beginning. Start somewhere, anywhere,
We don't advise smoking.
right?
There is a night code. We do have a night code on.
What does the
on-
night code say on this?
What?
What's
You
the-
don't remember the night
No,
code?
what's the night
oh
code?
my
tell
god!
Tell me the night code. Tell me what it says.
Okay,
So I
let
can
me.
say it's wrong.
No, you're gonna agree. You're gonna agree right now.
We'll see.
All right, here we go. Night code number 35.
Number 35. All right.
Brothers who are not cigar smokers shall have the common decency, at the very least, to pretend to understand and enjoy cigars.
Okay.
And then his corollary number 1,
Yeah.
if offered a cigar, you must attempt to smoke to completion.
Ooh.
Corollary number 2, if offered an expensive cigar and you know you will not take more than a couple of puffs, politely decline. Be prepared to be chastised the rest of the night. Board approved.
You know what? I think that's probably one of the few ones that
You agree with all of them.
I pretty much agree with all of that right there.
And this was because I told the story that we went to a freaking high school reunion, my wife's, and we met her friend, one of her friends from high school, and he was married to this jackass dude. I didn't know he was a jackass at the time. And he's like, "Oh, you smoke cigars?" I was like, "Yeah, I smoke, dude, a little dabbling and smoking." And he's like, "Oh, man, I only smoke Cuban cigars. I only smoke Cuban cigars." And I was like, "Okay, cool. That's great, bro."
That's a red flag right
Yeah.
there.
And then so we were coming back. So Letty was really good friends with this lady, and she was really nice. She was, good people. And so we was like, hey, we're just because it happened right down the street. It was like 10 minutes away. It was like, well, our house is right here. Let's go. And so, we're smoking a cigar. Right? I was like, all right, I'll get a couple of cigars. And this mofo did exactly that. Took a couple of puffs, and then I didn't see what he did with it. I was smoking mine, and then there was other people here, so you don't really know what's going on. And then I finished mine. I, left it there at the little ashtray or whatever. We walk inside, and then the next day I'm cleaning up outside, and I open my grill, full cigar, dog.
A whole ass cigar.
I was like, you mother. We've never seen him again, so it's all good.
But still, you lost the
Need to
whole
put a hit
ass
on that
cigar.
puto. So that's what prompted this. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, there was a lot of casualties at one of our golf tournaments.
Oh my God, yes.
We had a brother, a gracious brother that was giving cigars to anybody that wanted
nice cigars.
them. And there were people taking them, probably doing 2-3 puffs on them and just leaving them
And then
stranded on the
abandoning.
fairway.
That's a damn shame.
It was, man. It was bad.
Yep.
And so they did not know night code number 35.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty bad.
Where's my belt?
Yeah.
I think that's the only night code we have on smoking cigars. So
Yeah.
therefore, DLH, do you have any pointers for anybody starting cigars? First, how do you light a cigar?
Very carefully.
Very carefully.
Do you lick all of it?
No.
Cochino.
No. You don't need to lick it.
Just stick it.
That's a different episode, sir.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wrong one. I'll be back.
I would say if you use a torch lighter, it's going to be easier.
Yes.
You need to hold the torch lighter far enough away that you're not
Torching it.
actually burning the tobacco, but you will see the flame, like the end of the tobacco being lit, right?
Okay.
If you go all the way around it to do your best to sort of get heat on all of that tobacco in the beginning, if it's not fully lit, you'll know if you turn it the burnt end towards you and blow it. And
Yeah.
if you blow on it and the entire circle is lit, then you're good. If it's not fully lit, then you can turn on the flame and then put the cigar in your mouth. You can begin to puff, but you do not put the flame close to it. It has to be further away and then ideally not directly towards it.
I think if you just hold the cigar away from you and light the end and then puff it and never
you'll
try
get
to,
there.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to do that and not taste all the burnt in, right? But
Yeah.
you just
Sometimes you get little runners and you have to, where one end kind of picks up more than the other.
Yes, but even if it's burned, if it's an uneven burn, as you continue to smoke it, it'll even out. So I wouldn't sweat that much. You just don't want to burn the beginning of it.
Correct.
So there's that right there. What else? There's a rule. I can't even remember the timing of the rule. I never really have an issue with it, which is why I don't remember the timing. There's a certain amount of puffs or draws that you should take on cigar so that it doesn't turn out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Right. It's like at least 3 puffs every minute. You have to take in a draw.
Well, yeah, I think you'll figure that out. But yes.
Yes, but if you don't pay attention to it, it'll turn out. And if it turns out, if you try to relight it as it is, and there's burnt ash on the end, then you start the bitter flavor.
Yeah.
Right. If it turns all the way out, you're actually supposed to cut off all of the burnt stuff and then relight it. And start all over. Which is harder.
Do you try to keep as much ash?
Yes.
Like I used to.
The cherry is what it's called. If you just let it burn, you don't try to ash it into the ashtray. You just let it burn as long as it can.
What's the longest ash you think you've done?
Oh man, easily about 1.5 inches, and then it falls off on its own.
Yeah,
for gravity or whatever.
But it's when you have a good cigar.
When you have a good cigar,
it maintains.
You're going to find that the cherry is much longer than when you have a lesser cigar.
Yeah. And then you'll start figuring that out, but they're packed so well that when it burns so evenly that when you look at the ash, you see these layers.
Yes,
it's kind of cool.
The layers, and they should be gray white, not black. If they're all black, there's a problem.
There's a problem. Yeah. So don't flick the ash. Don't do anything.
Just let it stay on as long as you possibly can because it insulates the heat and it keeps the burn optimally on the cigar. What else is there etiquette wise? When it comes time to let the cigar burn out, you do not put it out like you might a cigarette. You just leave it in the ashtray so that it doesn't catch anything on fire and you let it burn out on its own.
Yeah.
So to put that in a nutshell, do as Usher would do. Let it burn. Let it burn. Let it burn.
Let's kill me right now. Here's something really, really important. Do not inhale.
God.
That was bad. But do not inhale.
That's what you said.
That's not at all what I
Could
said.
sum it up.
That's
No.
what that's
you
what
said
you
let it burn like
that's what
8
you
times.
heard.
Deep down, I know.
That's what you heard.
Don't inhale. Just so you know, you will get sick.
I don't think I've ever given a bigger eye roll in my life.
Let it burn. Let it burn.
That's terrible.
But diversify it. Try it. If you don't know if you're going to like it, try it anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Give it a good shot. Do your best to light it correctly. Know that the first third is not going to be the optimal burn. It's going to be the middle of the cigar that you're going to get the most flavor out of.
Yeah.
If you don't like it in that middle third, you're not going to like it. So learn from it and move on. But I think if you're going to be somebody who's just constantly adventurous, then try whatever you want. If you're somebody who's going to try and get to a point where you'd like to have a cigar that you want, then you have to start taking note of some of the things. Is it Torpedo? Is it a Churchill?
Yeah. Robusto, Corona.
Robusto, yes.
Pyramid. I mean, there's so many.
Things. And then, is it a Connecticut? Is it a Maduro? Is it a Sumatra? Is it, you'll learn the language once you're in it. If you want to know any of that stuff in a faster fashion, feel free to text us.
Yeah, text us. There's a link on the
respond to our social media and ask us a question.
So the darker
just Google it.
Yeah, the darker
but no,
the
we'd
leaf.
rather them interact with us.
The darker the leaf, that's usually the stronger it is, for the most part. Like if it's
maybe
for the most part.
But you can also mitigate that with the cut. So even if you like a stronger flavor, which is a stronger, which is a darker leaf, the darker leaf is going to have a stronger flavor.
Right.
But but it also changes the flavor when you do a punch versus a guillotine versus a V cut.
Right. So there you go.
What are y'all approving?
We are approving.
Smoke cigars.
Real men smoke cigars.
Oh man.
Try it. You know. Well, you should at least know your way around it. Even if you don't smoke, at least know the etiquette part of it. Know how to cut a cigar. Don't inhale. Don't get sick. That'd be a terrible way.
Yeah, do not inhale.
Know the basics of it. You know, rotate the cigar as you're lighting it. That type of stuff. And have a good time with it. I mean, it's cool to find people that smoke cigars. You can go out and, I mean, there's so many places to smoke cigars.
And if you're a fraternity brother, hit us up.
Yeah, we're going to be smoking at Fink's on...
and we'll join you and we'll give you a little etiquette lesson.
And don't forget, night code 35.
Night code 35.
There you go. What the hell?
That's a weird one.
It is.
Where's
Do
the
the other one. Do the other one.
Okay, let me do the other
It's because the other one doesn't have a...
Ah, that's better. That's better. No. No.
Nope.
Okay, y'all need to stop. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on your social media, and or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from us, you can follow us on Instagram and X. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.